Holbert in Burlington, Mississippi. Hey, Holbert, you want to argue that people who deny climate change should be allowed to buy guns?
I'm Tom. I retired in fall of 2014.
Mm-hmm.
I was an oceanographer for the Navy. I've been studying this climate change thing for 40 years.
Mm-hmm.
I became interested in it when I was a freshman in college 40 years ago,
right,
when establishment rags like Time and Newspeak said we're all going to freeze to death in the next ice age.
Right.
Then I read Isaac Asimov's 1959 essay postulating anthropogenic global warming. Well, I thought, this is a contradiction. Which is it? So, over 29 years ago, sometime I think it was the fall of 1986, I was taking a college course to get a promotion, and I had to write a paper. Well, I picked global warming as my subject because I wanted to know. So I burrowed through the scientific literature for months trying to find out. And after months of doing this, I came to the conclusion that Earth's climate's not doing a damn thing it hasn't been doing for 2.5 million years. It's been in the same cycle, and it's been warmer than it is today many times. The last 3 warm periods in this interglacial were warmer than it is today. The last 4 interglacial periods were warmer than it is today. One phrase I didn't find anywhere in the scientific literature is tipping point.
And I would suppose
again,
I would suggest
in 1999 I had to write another paper.
Holbert, enough already. I would suggest that you look at some of the science around extinctions because they all involve tipping points, and B, there's a group of people out in Oregon. When I used to do a radio show in Portland, there's a group of people out in Oregon who have carefully examined the literature of science and have come to the conclusion that using any kind of antibiotic medication or any kind of medication, for that matter, at all to cure illness among their children is unscientific, that it doesn't actually work, that it's all placebo effect and stuff. And this group has had over 100 of their children die. There's a cemetery, their very own cemetery outside of Portland, and Oregon is struggling with what to do with them, whether or not they are mentally ill. Do you think that they should be allowed to own guns?
I'm talking about climate, not crack.
No, you're talking about your belief system based on your own personal research.
I'm talking about the scientific literature, Tom. I've been through it twice as thoroughly as I possibly could,
right.
and none of the scientists I worked with believed in this crisis you keep talking about.
Right.
Not one of them.
I would suggest then that you and your scientist buddies have a problem. I mean, do you tell your doctor that you don't believe in bacteria? I mean.
I'm not talking about bacteria. I'm talking about climate, and I'm citing the scientific.
We're both talking about science here.
Do you know who Michael Crichton is?
He's dead.
Yeah, he's a science fiction writer, but he did his homework. He wrote very good science fiction.
He's not a climate scientist.
Write a book about global warming.
I know. I read it.
Well,
It's a rather pathetic book, actually, if you've read it. Michael was a brilliant writer. I really loved his stuff. I've read probably 7 of his books, but that book I thought was just a hack job. I was surprised he put his name on it. Anyhow, Holbert, I got to move along. We're sucking up the show here. To watch more clips from our programs, hit the Watch More Videos button over here, and please be sure to hit the handy dandy subscribe button so you'll always be up to date. Tag, you're it.